What if the actor is more in tune with the script than the director? Or do you not often see that? Do you see that the director is pretty honed in on the script, the beats of it, the characters?
Well, it's interesting. It's a great question because it's that imbalance of not only understanding the script but being in tune with the script is a big problem. Yeah, there are a lot of directors who believe they know the script well, and we can talk about writer-directors too, and sometimes just because they've written it, they believe they know the characters very deeply, profoundly. Sometimes they do, often they don't. There are some actors who, when working on a script, will become very in tune with a character very, very quickly and very, very deeply. And again, it depends on the actor and how the actors work. Some actors work on a very superficial level. Some work on a very deep level. The real challenge is to take everybody to a deep level, directors and actors and the characters to the deepest level possible, and not to settle for something that's more superficial, or to be intimidated by the other. Actors can be intimidated by a director who seems to know so much about the character that the actor gets frightened. This is part of the fear. I was talking about the fear, like, oh, he knows the character so well. Oh my God, what am I, suddenly they feel intimidated. Or very often directors who feel intimidated by actors because, especially really good actors. One problem that some directors can have with really good actors, his problem is casting really good actors, seriously. Is a really good actor can give you almost anything. And then you go, now what do I do? In other words, a director going, oh, how about if we play it this way, have this kind of, and the actor does it. You go, wow, that's great. And I will say to the director, fine, what do you want? And the director doesn't know. And I say, well, now you got a problem. You have the riches of talent in front of you, and you don't know where you're going. In other words, you don't know the script well enough, you don't know the scene well enough, you don't know the characters well enough, you don't know your story well enough to be directing. And this is, again, why a lot of directors shy away from the actors. And I've heard directors say, if I cast it well, I'm fine. Why do I need to do all that? If I get, these are really good actors, they'll do it. And I'm working with one director now who's directing. He's a good director, but his directing is minimal. And he tells me with every scene he shot, it's a movie that's shooting now, it's an independent film, and I've seen some of the scenes, every scene I say, okay, how did it go? Great, they nailed it. As soon as I hear that, I know we got a problem. Because he's saying that for it's either they nailed it or they hit it out of the park, every scene. And I go, that can't be true. That can't be true. And not that I'm not doing a good job. I'm sure they're doing a good job. I'm sure they're doing the best job. But his assessment of their performance, I think, is always, if it's highly emotional and intense and they give a lot of energy to it, then it's fine. So he does, I don't think he wrote the script. And I don't think he knows the characters well enough.
So is that why a director would be afraid of an actor? They're afraid of being exposed as a fraud, so to speak. It seems, I've heard this for years, that that directors are so afraid of actors. I could see the reverse. It's intimidating. They hold all this power. They have the decision to cut you out of scenes, whatever. But in the reverse, it just seems so perplexing to me.
Why directors are afraid of actors?
Right.
I'll give you one reason, I think, and quite honestly, Karen, sometimes I bring this up in front of directors to see what their response is. But really good, I've worked with a lot of really good directors, and a lot of really good directors are very knowledgeable about film, filmmaking, the technology, the cameras, the lights, the sounds, digital replacement, CGI, all the equipment. We're going to shoot this with a Steadicam. We're going to do all, and it's amazing what they know, and it's amazing what they can do, and it's amazing how they can visualize the film, and all that. And I'm impressed, because that's not my area of strength. And then these same directors will come to an actor, and suddenly they're shaky. And I think I know why. If I was working with a crew and we're talking about cameras and lights and angles, that's very manageable equipment. I can understand that. I can understand framing. I can see immediately, am I getting what I want? Am I getting what I want in production design? Because I'm dealing with something that's tangible. Working with actors, there's nothing tangible. I'm working with an emotional system, a pool of emotions inside a character, and I don't know how to manage that. I don't know what I want, really. I can't define what I want. I can't tell that person, put a different lens on it and it'll work. I can tell you that to the camera, you know, no, not a 50, we're going to go to a 35, it'll look better. I can do that. I can't say, so all the other directing that I do with everybody else on the crew, it's all result. Give me this result. I want a different color blue. I want this to be bigger. I want this to be smaller. I want to shoot outside. I can talk in results and everybody can give me results. I can't talk that way to an actor because it won't work. I can't say I need more vulnerability because it won't work. In other words, I'm dealing with a human being and I don't have the tools and the techniques to know how to handle that. And the sad thing is, I'm working with these actors, and at the center of my $30 million movie, the only thing that's going to make it work is the actors. The rest of it won't make the movie work. Or this can bring it down. If the performances aren't good, if they're not strong, if it's not powerful, it's not telling the story I want to tell. So that's the most important part of my movie, and that's my weakest place. So I think the fear is because I have to talk to actors on more of a psychological level, where I can talk with everybody else on a more mechanical level.
So it's where they're almost afraid of their lack of emotional intelligence, in some sense? I mean, they know technical things. How
you mean they're emotional? No, you mean the director's afraid of actors of their emotional intelligence?
Or actually of the directors afraid of their own lack of emotional intelligence.
Afraid of their lack of knowledge of what that person does. And how do I talk to that person this is another big problem. How do I talk to that person to get them to do what I think they should do in this scene, the way I imagine it when I read it, because I think that'll work. Do you understand?
Right, right.
And I mean, an intelligent director will know that the way he hears the scene, he or she hears the scene when they read it, is maybe not the best way for it to play, but how do I guide the actor through either a rehearsal process or while we're shooting to explore a range of possible emotional moments out of which I can make a really good scene? How do I do that? I mean, it's a mystery. And it's very different. So I think a lot of directors will just shoot a lot. Okay, let's do it again. What do you want? I just did it again. I heard this on the set the other day, a long time ago. I need bigger emotions this time. And they asked, now the actors do it. They did it louder. That's all they did. Bigger emotions. I need more vulnerability. And my heart goes out to directors. Like I see them fighting to find the language with which to deal with a human being, which is giving them a genuine emotional performance. And how do you modify that? It's easier to say, okay, no, the shadows are too sharp. I need it darker. Or we'll fix that in color correction. That's easy. I can't adjust an actor's performance in post-production. I can't do that. And so it's the fact that part of directing is all psychology. It's not technical at all. And they try to make it technical.